Hey guys, it's Aidan here from Everyday Tech. So we're going to just look at 4 pieces of tech that you can buy for under $100. Okay guys, so this video we're just going to look at 4 pieces of tech that you can buy under $100, and I've just got them all 4 here, so I'm just going to tell you a little bit about them and what my thoughts are on them. Okay, so the first piece of tech we're going to look at today is this, the Super Nintendo Classic Mini. You can pick one of these up for around 60 to 70 pounds, and it's an ideal gift for everybody. The console itself is so small it fits in the palm of your hand, but it does come with 2 full-size controllers. But before you get too excited, your existing controllers on your Super Nintendo or your retro controllers do not fit in this console. It comes with 21 games ranging from Mario to Mario Kart to Zelda to Street Fighter. Pretty much all of the cool games that you remember and you probably want to play. The cool thing about this is that it does not require any sort of modification like an old retro console. Not all retro consoles fit on your modern TVs. This one does. This one comes ready equipped with an HDMI cable to plug straight into your TV, so it's all ready to go. So you could go out and you could buy your old retro controller with the games, but it'll cost you a lot more money than this will cost. And you might buy a controller that is 20, 30 years old and it still might not work. This will work, and at least if it doesn't work, you still got a guarantee at the end of it, you know, so it's just things to bear in mind. There are a couple of other mini consoles out there. Mega Drive do one, there is a Nintendo Classic Mini, I even think there's an Atari one, I can't think of anything else off the top of my head, and they're all very similar price. I think the Mega Drive one, is a PlayStation 1 that I have seen on Amazon, which is £49 at the moment. That seems like a great deal, but again, everybody will have their favourites, everybody will have the one that they used to play, but for the price that they're asking, it's really, really good value. Can I recommend this? Yeah, I really can. It works perfectly. It plays on a modern TV. The games play exactly how they used to, and they look fantastic. The sound is the same, the graphics are the same. I even felt the same that when I played it as I did when I was a child. So for me, it's a big thumbs up. If you're looking for an introduction to home security, then this Yi 1080p camera could be the one for you. The great thing about this camera is that it requires no hub and no subscription. You can literally plug and play, and all you need is a micro SD card. You can pay for a Yi Cloud subscription, but for me and most people purposes, I think a SD card will do the job just fine. Setup is straightforward with something like this. All you do is you plug it in, you open the app, you select the camera that you want to connect, and it'll give you a little picture of it, and it's quite distinguishable because there's only really one like this, and you just follow the instructions on there. A barcode will come up on your phone, you hold it in front of the camera when it's on, it connects to the Wi-Fi, you're pretty much there ready to go. It's really, really straightforward and a very easy and intuitive app. The only real issue I've had with this camera is that it only comes with 10 feet of cable. So for me, I wanted to have it quite high going down the driveway, and it was not possible without me having to do lots of additional work, such as trying to extend the cable, which would either mean the cable itself, for example, comes 10 foot long with a USB socket at the end and a plug which plugs into it. So I think I would have to buy a USB female to female, female to male, female to female, and then put another USB socket in, and then how many meters, feet of wire on the other end, then onto a plug, but then I'd have to have a waterproof casing in the middle, and it just wasn't that feasible. But for a lot of people, having it on the front of the house or the back of the house, or even on the side near a window, you can just trail the cable through the window, perhaps plug it into a plug socket at the bottom. It may be absolutely fine. But for me, I just want something a little bit easier. So even though the actual cable length isn't very long, it doesn't mean that you should dismiss this straight away. With its app that is super easy to use, you can add to this as and when you go. They do some great internal cameras, which I do actually use. And like I say, I actually intended to put this up, but I'm going to go a different way, I think, in the long run. But the other cool things about this is it has, well, it records in 1080p for a start. It has amazing night vision. It is really fantastic. It has two-way audio, and you just really can't beat it. So if you get a notification on your phone that you've got a prowler in your garden, you can go into the app, you can talk to them and just say, excuse me, bugger off. And it's really just that simple. So can I recommend that you buy this camera? Yeah, I actually can. I got it at a steal. It really is good value. You can pick them up on Amazon for less than £100, sometimes less than 80, and sometimes less than that if you're careful. But be patient if you're after one. Watch them in your Amazon wish lists and one will come up that's on offer. They are really good. Yi makes really good quality cameras and their apps are fantastic. They're very easy to use. There's so many settings that you can pick up on, and I won't go into them now because I'm just basically giving you an overview of my thoughts of the camera. But would I have one again? No. I can recommend it. It's a fantastic camera. Thumbs up from me. So what can I say about my next product? It's the Amazon Echo speaker. It's actually an amazing piece of kit, and it's one of the most, well, it's probably the cheapest thing that I have bought in this roundup. When I got this, I got it, well, just over a year ago. And at the time it was what, 60 odd pounds, but you can get them as low as 55 now. And it is amazing. It's more than a voice assistant. It's more than just a speaker. To me, it's a way of life. I have two of these and 2 dots, 4 smart speakers. My wife hates them, but I love them. They make my life so much easier most of the time. So when you think of a smart speaker, most people think, great, it can play music. But smart speakers are much more than that. You can order your food, you can order a taxi. It will give you traffic reports, but only on your commute to work. It can't actually, it's not smart enough to tell you where you want to go. It's only one destination, which is a bit of a bummer. But I can tell it to send my robot vacuum round when I'm going out. I can tell it to turn the lights on when I come home. I can tell it to order shopping. I try not to say her name because I've got one behind me and she will do stuff and my wife will just shout at me later on. So the Amazon Echo isn't without its issues. It doesn't always understand everything that you say. Sometimes you will say things perfectly clearly and it will still say it doesn't understand. You can play games on this and you can say the right answer. Sometimes it will tell you you are wrong. It's not perfect, but to me, sometimes that adds to its charm. It's quite funny for me to watch my wife have an argument with Alexa when they're playing the games and my wife's told a correct answer. She's telling her that she's wrong. My wife's telling Alexa she's right. She's telling her, it's hilarious. But it just, for me, adds to the charm. It's just a bit of fun. So the reason I chose an Echo device over anything else is purely because, I mean, yeah, I like Amazon anyway, and I do not have it linked to my shopping because I prefer to see what I'm buying, see if there's any better offers. So it's limited for me in that respect. But with the Google speakers, there's something not quite right about starting a sentence with, okay, Google. It doesn't sound right. It doesn't roll off the tongue as easy. And well, Apple, I mean, I'm Android anyway, all the way. and Apple seems to be severely expensive and way behind. I'm sure it will catch up, and I'm sure it will be as good, but I imagine it will be 4 times as much in the future. Apple products do tend to be a lot more money. So yeah, things to consider, but it's just nice to say the name. It sounds like you're actually talking to somebody when you say it, which just makes it a lot easier for me. It gives her a personality rather than just saying, okay Google, you know? So for me, it's just nice to say that name. The other thing is, she's not the smartest. You will get better answers from Google. Quite often she won't know simple questions, but I use it as primarily a speaker and a voice assistant. Turn the lights on and off, playing games, giving commands, writing lists, you know, doing all these simple things, but it is capable of more. So just bear in mind that you can do so much more with your speaker, and it is a massive thumbs up from me. So last but not least, it's the Philips Hue lighting system. I've put that in under the under £100 mark. This particular box here that you see was about £100. Granted, it may have been about £2 or £3 over. I got it off the Amazon marketplace. You find what it is, and if you scroll down, you can look for new and used. This technically was used, but it came in a box. It looked like it had been opened, but nothing looked used. So rather than paying the £170 for a starter kit, I paid just over £100. So I snuck it in at the £100 or under, because you can actually buy the kit separately depending on how far you want to go for less than £100. You can buy the bridge for around £50, sometimes even cheaper when it's on offer, and you can just buy bulbs as and when. But that can work out more expensive in the long run if you're looking to add more bulbs in the future, because the bulbs themselves can go from anywhere from between £15 or £10 to £15 all the way up to, seems like £80, which I genuinely can't seem to see why you would spend £80 on one single bulb. So although there are many alternatives to Philips Hue, there's the IKEA Trad-free, and there's Osram, and there's LifeX, there is a few. They just don't have the customizability, yeah, I think that's the right word, that Philips do. It's the accessories. For example, I am actually using Philips Hue and the IKEA Trad-free together, separate hubs, because I'm phasing out the IKEA ones, because they are good, but Philips is just better. The hub is smaller, it's easier to connect. When I want to connect a bulb, I just turn it in, it recognizes it, and it's just connected. With the IKEA ones, you have to go through a whole pairing process. It doesn't always recognize it. You have to start again, and it's just a whole faff that I don't really want to go through. Whereas these, absolutely simple doddle to pair. The switches are easier to use. The motion sensors are better. They are smaller. Yes, they can be more money, but again, if you are patient, you can get great deals. I recently got a sensor and a light switch for just under £32 for both of them, that is, yeah, on Amazon on one of their today deals just after Christmas. And that was fantastic, because in the UK, the sensor is around £35 on its own. So to get a sensor and a switch for 32 was an absolute steal. It's the little things I love. So when I walk in my house now, the sensor picks up my body movement and it turns the lights on that I want. It really is fantastic. Everything is just so customizable. And when you go on the app, it's things like under settings, I think it is, you can go to the Hue Laboratory. Yeah, I was going to say lavatory, the Hue Laboratory, and it can give you beta tests to use in your app. So if you want to try different things to see how well it works, you can give it a go. There's a lot of things that I will never use. For example, you know, if I want to set a time to rise and shine, well, I don't always get up at the same time. My wife doesn't always get up in the same time. So it's pointless to have it come on at, let's say, 7 every morning slowly to wake us up if we're not going to get up till 8, or if I'm going to get up at 6. So swings and roundabouts, but little things. When the sensor goes off, you can program it to be bright as you like, or as dim as you like, or you can program it for daylight use and at nighttime use. So for me, for example, initially at night I put it on the night light setting, so it was very dim, but for my wife it was still too bright. So between the hours of 11 p.m. and 8 a.m. I just selected that it does nothing, which again I think is a great thing that it should be able to do. Sometimes, as much as you like all the gadgets you have to do all sorts, sometimes it's great for them to just do nothing. You don't have to turn them off, but it's nice to say between this time and that time, do nothing. It is really a fantastic smart piece of kit. The Hue light system is something I can thoroughly recommend. Perhaps not at the retail prices, because you can wait and get them on sale for much cheaper, but it's definitely worth the investment. You know, Philips Hue are going to invest in their apps, they're going to invest in their products, they're going to be supported. So for me, it's a massive thumbs up. Right, so guys, if you've liked this video, please like it. If you've really liked it, please subscribe to my channel, and then you'll be notified anytime I do any tech news or tech reviews. See you soon.